my senior year came around, I didn't have any offers or anything like that. Maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before signing day, I'm still like, man, what am I about to do with my life? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I had a kid the same day I signed on National Signing Day, February 3rd. His birthday just passed. He turned 7.
Shouts out.
Yeah, shouts out to him. But man, I was just like sitting there thinking, you know, and so when Alabama offer came by, I was just like, man, now I get a chance to, you know, feel
How
like.
does that happen?
Yeah, it's
How
crazy.
does that happen? You have no offers, and then Alabama is
Yeah,
your
man.
last.
Yeah.
How does that? Like, what did they say to you when they came to offer you?
Yeah, so.
Pulled up, made my appearance. You can't sit with us without clearance. That lame shit, never let it near us. And your girl will choose my team cause you still living with your parents. Flexing on the gram with your paycheck. Stop showing off them bills you ain't paid yet. Couture 101, this ain't made yet. My gang never playing like we came off the same jet. I'ma need a section cause we tryna.
What's up, everybody? It's LaVar Arrington here, coming to you again live from Super Bowl Radio Row in Arizona. Another conversation with a legend. This young man, well, he totes that pill. Some people say he carries that rock. Some people say, let me spin. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you think it is, it was that and more with my man, Josh Jacobs. Appreciate you coming on, my G. First things first, you're bigger than what I thought. You know, as a linebacker, you know, a former linebacker, I always size people up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's as athletes, we size one another up. Mm-hmm. And first thing I'd be thinking about is, could I have taken him down when I be seeing him, right? So I look at you, I was like, all right, now it makes sense why when you pop through the line of scrimmage and that first dude came at you, you were still able to keep going.
Yeah.
Now, second thing is, obviously, you got some breaking news.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool news in the National Football League to be able to, as I said, tote the pill and do it so well that you get recognized for it. It's pretty cool. So you got the FedEx Ground Player of the Year.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Man, it's definitely a huge honor, man, and a blessing. You know, just to be up for the award. You know, it's a fan award, so you don't really know how it's going to go, and things like that. It's definitely huge, and you know, just with them being able to give back to HBCUs, and you know, HBCU, Langston University, was the school that I decided to give back to. So they donated $20,000 to that school, and it was actually the first college that I've ever been to. You know, it was like 30 minutes outside of Tulsa, where I'm from. Man, I remember just going there and, you know, being mesmerized by the band and the food. And the food. So, you know, just to be able to go back on them and donate to them and, you know, shed a little bit of light on HBCUs and things like that has definitely been huge.
That's really cool, and that's close to home. That's super fire. My mom went to a HBCU. She went to Central. She was a Marauder, you know, in Xenia, Ohio. But shots out for that. You're from Tulsa. Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit, like, from Tulsa to Ground Player of the Year in a contract year. You must have done something right. You must have been raised right, because it seems like the stars and the planets are aligning for you. What's your background like? Tell us something about you that would be the most interesting thing about how you came up and how it led to you being where you are right now, the situation you're in today.
Well, yeah, I'm the middle of 5.
Okay.
You know, my dad raised us. You know, and obviously things wasn't always good. You know, we struggled. We've been homeless a little bit, you know, things like that. But he always instilled them values into me, you know. And so when I was going throughout high school, I didn't really have, my senior year came around, I didn't have any offers or anything like that. Maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before signing day, I'm still like, man, what am I about to do with my life? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I had a kid the same day I signed on National Signing Day, February 3rd. His birthday just passed. He turned 7.
Shouts out.
Yeah, shouts out to him. But man, I was just like sitting there thinking, you know, and so when Alabama offer came by, I was just like, man, now I get a chance to, you know, feel
How
like.
does that happen?
Yeah, it's
How
crazy.
does that happen? You have no offers, and then Alabama
Yeah,
is your
man.
last.
Yeah.
How's that? Like, what did they say to you when they came to offer you?
Yeah, so at the time, like my first offer was like New Mexico State or something like that, Wyoming or something like that. And I was just like, man, like I led the state in rushing and everything like that. I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got all the grades and everything, years before I could have graduated my junior year of high school. So I'm just like, man, I don't understand it. But man, when they came and they watched me play basketball actually.
Okay.
And they sat down. He was like, man, I wasn't even supposed to. I was supposed to stop for like 10 minutes. The running back coach, Coach Burns, he has like 2 or 3 Heisman winners.
Yeah.
Man, he just sat down and he left, and he came back like 10 minutes later, and we ended up spending like an hour and a half together. He was like, man, I was supposed to go see another guy, but I think you the guy for us. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And man, I talked to them, and they actually didn't even have a spot for me. They were still waiting on the guy to qualify to see if he qualified or not.
Wow.
So I literally waited the day of. I kind of pushed my signing date back a little bit, like the timing, for to get the clear that I could go there. And really the reason why I picked there, I mean, I was a fan of Alabama since like 7th grade.
Okay.
But not only that, it was just really to prove that I can go to the best, college with the best athletes and prove that I belong. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely, a blessing how it played out.
So you get to Alabama on a late offer. Mm-hmm. You go to Alabama. There's a whole bunch, like you said, there's a whole bunch of giants that you're around. And Alabama is known for giants at your position.
Thanks.
What are you thinking once you got there?
I'm not gonna lie. So, we come in earlier than all the students, coming in the summer. And I remember my first workout program, I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, in high school, you kind of lift weights, not really.
Right.
Like I put on 35 pounds in 2 years when I went to Bama, you know what I'm saying? So it was a culture shock. I remember, I'm like, man, I've never grew up seeing like clean cut grass and flowers. And I'm like, man, it was just so different for me. So I kind of just absorbed it and, put my head down and just went to work.
How did you adjust to that as a person? Because you talked about, you mentioned the whole homeless aspect, dad raising you with the values and the foundation. How did you as a person, how did you acclimate, how did you adjust and adapt to life that way?
Man, to be honest, I think it was my roommate, Irv Smith. He's from New Orleans. He played with the Vikings now, tight end. I think it was him. Like I remember our first real conversation we had, because my first month or two, I used to sleep on the floor.
Still, just out of habit.
Yeah, because it wasn't comfortable.
I still do that.
Yeah, like it wasn't comfortable
I'm a couch
for me.
dude.
Yeah, like what I'm saying.
I don't even go to the bed.
It wasn't for me. So he actually took the time to sit down and be like, man, like, what was that? Like, why what's going on? Like, he was the first person I feel like I really opened up to about it all.
Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay? And from there, he kind of got me like, okay, I got somebody here now that I trust and that I feel like is a brother. And then with him, he already kind of experienced things already, being from New Orleans and kind of like growing up being an elite athlete and things like that. He kind of brought me out my shell. He kind of took me under his wing and, brought me out my shell, and I just went from there.
So it gets you out yourself. They get you back in the bed?
Oh, yeah.
They get you in the bed, so you are sleeping in the bed.
Yeah.
Sleep number, hey, sleep number is here. Hey, make sure y'all get Josh Jacobs a sleep number. All right, y'all make sure y'all do that. We don't work together, but you're probably going to see this. Get this man a sleep number bed. So you come out of your shell. Mm-hmm. You're clearly a soft-spoken dude, but your game isn't soft-spoken.
Yeah, nah.
So when we think about the way you play, what's the one thing that people should know about you if they're looking at the way that you play and now getting an opportunity to hear the way that you interview? What is it important for people to know about you that you would want people to like recognize about who you are?
Man, I'm one of them people that, man, if I start something, I'm gonna finish it. Not only that, like I give my all to everything I do. Even if the odds are stacked against me, even if I don't truly believe in what I'm doing. I'm one of them guys that's, I'm gonna give it everything I got. I'm gonna put my head down, I'm gonna work, and I'm gonna try to make the best out of every opportunity, for sure.
I like that. I like that. Okay, so we got 1 minute left before I let you go. I told you, last question I always ask.
Yeah.
It's a legacy deal. When it's all said and done, and Josh Jacobs has done his work, and I'm talking work, life work, like it's grandkids coming to talk about Grandpa Jacobs, right? What do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
You know, on the field, I want to be, you know, known as one of them dudes. You know, one of them dudes that, like, you know, when your peers talk about you, they like, yeah, he's one of them. You know what I'm saying? And off the field, man, I think it's really just the impact that I have on other people's lives. I tell people all the time, man, you couldn't tell me God didn't put me in this position, you know, to help others. You know, just being through everything that I've been through. So, man, that's kind of my thing. I want to start a foundation where I build a community center back home, and you know, nonprofit things like that, and just be able to give back to the people, touch people's lives on a day-to-day basis, and you know, the real way.
Love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that. Hey, that's your man. Ground player of the year, you know what I mean? You know, FedEx deemed it so, and I agree. I second that notion. So my man Josh, I don't know, you got a nickname?
Josh is actually my nickname.
Josh is the nickname.
Yeah, that is actually my name.
I feel like Wrecking Ball, Josh Wrecking Ball Jacobs.
They call me the it's a dude on Twitter that do our videos.
What is it?
He say Tonka Truck.
Josh the Tonka Truck Jacobs on Conversations with a Legend. We'll be back.
They trying to do what we do. I know I'ma make it cause I need to. Feeling like Sean, I'm the Don. She the